Here's the question. Are you welcome in the universe? And the answer, my friends, is yes. But you got to get the question. You got to get that. That's the only real question that matters. And I was talking to a dear friend this weekend. We're doing a little talking on the phone now, or we call it Holy of Holies. And we were talking about this. So with permission, I want to just share a little bit of what we talked about. And I said, as we started, right, Holy of Holies, I said, welcome. And we realized that actually there was nothing else to say. Welcome. That's the whole thing. Welcome. But I can't welcome you as we're talking to each other, whether it's a Holy of Holies session or in a phone call or on Zoom or taking a walk. I can't welcome you for real. I can't actually say welcome for real unless we're both welcome in the cosmos. If there's not a welcome sign hung over the cosmos as a whole, there's no welcome sign over your life. Does everyone understand that? It's only the realization that we live in an amorous cosmos. It's only the realization that reality is not a fact. It's a story. And reality is not an ordinary story. Reality is a love story. And reality is not an ordinary love story, but reality is an outrageous love story. And your love story, my love story, is chapter and verse in the universal love story. There's nothing in my love story that's separate or dissociated from the larger text of the great love story of reality. And it's a love story which is not Pollyannish, but it's also not a Cassandra story. It's not Pollyannish. It's not a New Age tinsel story that bypasses the agony. I talked recently, I was in Italy, and I was talking to a beautiful man. And I said, so what do you think about, how do you work with suffering? And he said, I don't think about that. I put my attention on the positive. And I was shocked. This man's a beautiful man, a great thinker. No, we have to put our attention on the joy and on the suffering, on the outrageous beauty and on the outrageous pain. We can never turn away. We can sometimes step forward, we can sometimes step back, but we never turn away. And we understand that it's only because there's a welcome home sign on the universe that we are appropriately shocked by evil, because evil is the failure of intimacy. I can only scream it's not fair in a universe in which fairness, justice, integrity, harmony is the ground of reality. But if fairness, justice, integrity, harmony is not the very ground of reality, then the very notion of being not fair or being a violation or evil that contradicts live, right? Evil only makes sense because it's live spelled backwards. It's a violation of the basic life principle of cosmos. So let's understand, right? When we say that your love story, that my love story, is chapter and verse in the universal love story, what we mean is that there's a welcome home sign on the cosmos. And we have to understand this deeply. It's so deep, it's so profound, right? When someone says to us, thank you, what do we say? You're welcome. Someone says thank you, what do we say? You're welcome. But if we don't hear you're welcome, then we're devastated, we're destroyed, because there's no genuine space of love between us. Then everything is a manipulation. Everything is an accumulated debt or credit. Someone did something for me, why did they do it? Do I owe them something? Do I not owe them something? Do they want something from me? Do they not want something from me? So when someone does something for me and I say, thank you, what they say to me is, you're welcome. Right? This is not about accumulating a debt. This is not about a manipulation. This is not an I-it exchange, as Martin Buber said. This is you're welcome, right? Welcome. And whenever there's The word welcome, there's the word home. You know, in the original Hebrew of the wisdom traditions of Jerusalem, either Hebrew or Aramaic, the temple is not called a temple. There's actually no word for temple. The temple is called a bait, a home. Right? Because the only temple is a welcome home sign. And I can't welcome you home. I can't say to you, welcome. As Christina Amelon says at the beginning of One Mountain, welcome. I can't say welcome in an authentic way that's not somehow manipulative, that's not somehow violating of integrity, that's now somehow part of a game theoretic dynamic, part of an I-it plan, unless there's a welcome home sign in the cosmos. Who can feel that? Can you feel that with me? Wow, welcome. Welcome means welcome home, right? And when I say thank you, you say you're welcome, right? Or sometimes when we say thank you, we say my pleasure, right? Thank you, my pleasure. And my pleasure means the same thing. It means that we're part of the same one love. We're part of the same one breath, and my vaccines are your vaccines. And my shortness of breath is your shortness of breath. And we're not over COVID till we're all over COVID. We can't breathe until we can all breathe together because it's one breath. Thank you, my pleasure. Because reality is driven by pleasure. From the very beginning of time, when subatomic particles are drawn together through a kind of quantum hedonism, as Kathy Kaufman calls it in her academic article, scientific article describing the quantum world, right? There's a quantum hedonism, right? Reality's driven by pleasure. And pleasure is the feeling of Eros. Eros feels like pleasure. And Eros is the movement towards wholeness, the movement towards drawing a circle in which there's no one outside the circle. There's no one outside the circle. It's not my vaccine or your vaccine. It's not my country, your country. Yes, there are circles of intimacy. Yes, there are people that we're closer to. We know better. But ultimately, we have to move from ethnocentric intimacy to world-centric intimacy, from caring just about my people to caring about every person on the planet, and from caring about every person on the planet to caring about Buddy, Christina's dog, because Buddy's in the circle, cosmocentric intimacy. No one's outside the circle. Wow, everyone is welcome. And my friends, open your hearts. I open my heart. Let's open our hearts together. All pathology in the world, all acting out, all crime, all violation comes from the part of the person that doesn't feel welcome. Wow. Welcome. Right? Welcome.